Hey everyone, welcome back to Daily Devotions. Thank you for your prayers. Feeling much better now and being able to travel with you in this way with Exodus chapter 6. Now, if you are still catching up and wondering how we skipped chapter 5, I'll do a brief synopsis of chapter 5. And it's this: Pharaoh thinks he is God. Pharaoh thinks he is in control. Pharaoh thinks he is in charge. And so that's why he oppresses. That's why he goes about and bringing more and more authority upon the Israelites because they've requested something that is counter to his authority. And so he just lays it on them more and more, right? Go find your own straw to make the brick. And now there's more trouble. Now they're held to the same amount of bricks, even though they have to go do an extra job. He says they've been lazy. Now they need to work harder. More and more and more oppression. And as the people see what is happening, they attribute it towards, well, Moses and Aaron showed up. Once they showed up, now our lives are harder. Once they showed up with this message from this God, now our lives are harder. And so they actually aim towards them, and Moses aims towards God and saying, what are you doing? What is this for, right? Listen to these last words of chapter. Moses, in verse 22 of chapter 5, Moses returned to the Lord and said, O Lord, why have you brought trouble upon this people? Is this why you have sent me? Ever since I went to Pharaoh to speak in your name, he has brought trouble upon this people, and you have not rescued your people at all. You said that you were going to rescue them. You said that you were going to send me to bring them up out of Egypt, and all that has happened, all that I can see, is that you've just brought more trouble upon this people. That's all I've seen. That's all I've heard. And then chapter 6 happens. We always go ahead. We always jump ahead a lot of times with our control, with our own authority, requesting of God, being able to say, you said that you're this God, but are you? And we question and we doubt. And that's why chapter 6 is always a great replenishment for me. And I pray for you, because while it might not seem that God is rescuing, while we might not see with our eyes just yet in our timing, God steps in and tells us again, reminds us again, who's in charge, who's in authority, and who he is. Chapter 6 of Exodus, beginning at verse 1. Then the Lord said to Moses, now you will see. This is big. I have it boxed in my Bible here. It says, now you will see. Before you have heard, I gave you the promises. You saw the burning bush and it didn't burn up, but you heard the promises that I'm going to bring my people out. Now you will see what I will do to Pharaoh. He thinks he's in control. He thinks he's authority. He thinks he's God. You wait and see. Because of my mighty hand, he will let them go. Because of my mighty hand, he will drive them out of his country. He's not going to just let them go. You're not just going to walk out. He's going to drive them out. He's going to want to get rid of them because of my mighty hand. Verse 2. God also said to Moses, I am the Lord. Don't forget that. I am the Lord. I appeared to Abraham, to Isaac, and to Jacob as God Almighty, but by my name, the Lord, Yahweh, I did not make myself known to them. I've done that to you in Exodus chapter 3. I also established my covenant with them to give them the land of Canaan, where they lived as aliens. They were there before. They went to Egypt because of the famine. They were foreign aliens there. They're going to be back in Canaan, where the covenant was made. Verse 5, moreover, I have heard the groaning of the Israelites, whom the Egyptians are enslaving, and I have remembered my covenant. I stressed I because in verses 2 through 5, God takes the subject of the matter. I, 5 times in those short verses. I've heard the groaning. I'm going to rescue my people. I've remembered my covenant. I am the Lord. Therefore, because I am, In verse 6, therefore say to the Israelites, I am the Lord, and I will bring you from under the yoke of the Egyptians. I will free you from being slaves to them, and I will redeem you with an outstretched arm and with mighty acts of judgment. I will take you as my own people, and I will be your God. Then you will know that I am the Lord your God, who brought you out from under the yoke of the Egyptians, and I will bring you to the land I swore with uplifted hand to give to Abraham, to Isaac, and to Jacob. I will give it to you as a possession. I am the Lord. What you've heard, now what you will see will come true. This just brings us, it just pushes you way forward. And sorry to jump out of the narrative, but it's not really jumping out of the narrative. It's pushing us forward to be able to look at Luke chapter 24 after the resurrection. You heard it was said, now you see promises fulfilled. We see it in the resurrection. We see it in the death and resurrection of Jesus. We're going to see it in the hearing and the seeing of the rescuing of God with his people. God doesn't change. Moses reported this to the Israelites, but they did not listen to him because of their discouragement and cruel bondage. I want to put something out there for you, and I want you to chew on this for a little bit. God stated who he was, what he was going to do, and not just stating what now he's going to show them who he is and what he will do. What does Israel have to do? They just have to listen. They just have to receive. This is going to be the grace of God going towards Israel. What did they contribute? Israel only had to be in calamity and listen. It wasn't going to be their work. It wasn't going to be any part of their side. God was going to extend his grace. He was going to extend who he is. He was going to extend his rescue. When they were in calamity, when they were in oppression, even when they didn't listen. But he's going to ask them over and over again, listen, 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 and you will see. They did not listen because they were in discouragement and cruel bondage. Verse 10, then the Lord said to Moses, go, tell Pharaoh, king of Egypt, to let the Israelites go out of his country. But Moses said to the Lord, if the Israelites will not listen to me, why would Pharaoh listen to me, since I speak with faltering lips? Here's the doubt. Here's the doubt. The one that it seems like he's in authority, Pharaoh. It seems like he's God. It seems like he has the control. Why would I go to him even if the people don't want to listen? They're not going to follow me. Why would he follow my words? Because they are the Lord's words. I'm a man of faltering lips. I'll go back to my excuse before. I shouldn't be doing this. I don't want to do this. But here's the calling that God has for Moses. Go to the one who thinks he's in control and authority, who thinks he's God, and tell him, these aren't your people. Go to the king. I am king, God says, and let my people out of your country. Let the Israelites go out of his country. Verse 13, now the Lord spoke to Moses and Aaron about the Israelites and Pharaoh, king of Egypt, and he commanded them to bring the Israelites out of Egypt. These were the heads of their families. The sons of Reuben, the firstborn son of Israel, were Hanok and Palu, Hezron and Carmi. These were the clans of Reuben. The sons of Simeon were Jemuel, Jamin, Ohad, Jachin, Zohar, and Shaul, the son of Canaanite woman. These were the clans of Simeon. These were the names of the sons of Levi, according to their records: Gershon, Kohath, and Merari. Levi lived 137 years. The sons, he just continues to go on naming. I'm not going to go through all these names. You can walk through them yourselves if you want to try to give a time of pronunciation. It's fun to be able to go through these names. But I go down right at the end of 25. It says, these were the heads of the Levite families, clan by clan. Why is he naming all of these family names? He says, I know where you're from. You're people of the covenant. Remember that. Here's the clans from Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, of Israel. I know who you are, God says, and I will bring rescue. I will continue to remember my covenant. Verse 26, it was this same Aaron and Moses to whom the Lord said, bring the Israelites out of Egypt by their divisions. They were the ones who spoke to Pharaoh, king of Egypt, about bringing the Israelites out of Egypt. It was the same Moses and Aaron, right? The Moses and Aaron that came from the clan of Levi, came from Israel, came from the covenant. Now, verse 28, when the Lord spoke to Moses in Egypt, he said to him, I am the Lord. Tell Pharaoh, king of Egypt, everything I tell you. But Moses said to the Lord, since I speak with faltering lips, why would Pharaoh listen to me? Why would Pharaoh listen to me? Doubt, fear, misunderstanding, the sight that Moses has before his eyes, they're not listening to me. Why would Pharaoh listen to me? I have faltering lips. I have a speech impediment, as some people would say in their research of Moses. It doesn't seem as professional. And God says to Moses, it's not going to be you. Yes, you have faltering lips, but it's not going to really be about your lips. It's going to be about my word. And my word is a word of covenant. And my word is a word of rescue. And my word says that I am the Lord, and it will be accomplished. And so go to Pharaoh, king of Egypt, and state to him who I am, that I'm in control, that it is my authority. And as he doesn't listen to that, because he's not going to listen to that, I will show you who I am, that I'm in control, and that I have the authority. Brothers and sisters, may you see in chapter 6 the many eyes. I underlined every single eye in chapter 6 because God takes on the subject, not in just Moses' life or Pharaoh's life or the Israelites' life, but our life. He is I, the great I am. And God is in control. God is in authority. God is Lord. As soon as we start to step into those places at all in our lives of saying, I'm in control, I'm in authority, and I am God. I know we don't just state that too often, but sometimes we act like that. Let's read chapter 6 and make sure that we get back in to the right priority, the right position. God is in control. God is in authority. God is king. God is the Lord. He has this day in his hands, and he's woken you up to this day and says, I am with you. Have a blessed day.